Welcome to Blueprints and Bottomlines. I am your host, Seely.
And I'm here, your co-host, Sixley.
This is a show where real life, real business, and real conversations meet. Every week, we break down the strategies, stories, and mindset that help you build a life with purpose and the bottom lines to match.
Let's build.
Let's build. So this week is something really important. This is the most important topic when it comes to business. I heard this quote from Warren Buffett. Buffett said, the best decision you'll ever make,
Who you marry.
who you marry, right?
Yeah.
He says,
The best business decision you'll ever make is who you marry.
yeah,
Which I agree with that 100%. Especially being an entrepreneur, right? Like if you have that entrepreneurial spirit and you marry someone who is not an entrepreneur, or even someone who doesn't think or can see how entrepreneurship works and supports it. One of us had a 9 to 5 and the other one was,
hustling.
hustling. Doing some things. But one person needs to understand like that stuff. Like it could really take a toll if you're not prepared to be
Right.
with someone who's an entrepreneur, because the mind of an entrepreneur can only be understood by someone who is either similar or has deep insight into what entrepreneurship actually is.
So do you think an entrepreneur could marry or be with someone who isn't an entrepreneur?
I believe it's possible.
I think it's a really good combination both ways. I think just the two mindsets have to match. Values, because as an entrepreneur, you're gonna have a lot of ups and downs.
Yeah, and then you're down.
When you're down
The other person needs to understand.
and when you're up, that other person needs to be able to budget. I think it can work in any dynamic, but two entrepreneurs is really scary.
It is terrifying.
It's
Terrifying.
two entrepreneurs are very terrifying, but also it's probably
Accelerating.
it gets the people going.
It is absolutely
I think
one of the scariest parts of my adult life.
with becoming an entrepreneur,
It was definitely scary. I feel like it's scarier than having children.
wow, that's
No, cause think about it. Like you bringing a human into this world, right? And you're like, okay, like I have to raise a whole human, but it's like you have to kill to eat as an entrepreneur. If you don't kill, you don't eat.
yeah. You eat what you feel.
Yeah.
That's all you eat. It's like you're hunting all day.
All day.
That's why I think I dislike having to bring up this topic, but most drug dealers are amazing entrepreneurs.
They are.
Like the good ones.
Yes, of course. Not the ones that are constantly getting robbed and what? You if you're in that category.
Yeah, and you constantly effing up the pack,
Yes.
gambling and re-up.
Right. That's not you.
That's we're not talking.
Yeah, you got the real money separate from the regular spending.
Yeah.
Your budget and all that. Like you need to switch over. Like you were made for
Entrepreneurship. I think you may be a great entrepreneur. I think that problem, the reason I mentioned that is because I think as a person who grew up in the projects, I would change nothing about that because it made me prepared to be the entrepreneur that I am today. I think what happens is the people who are on the corners and they have to go get a job, they end up getting fired because their bosses, right, they have their own
authority issue comes up where it's like you think you're the authority because you can't follow somebody's order, but also it could be a lot with like the person that's leading you is not a leader.
Right.
They're trying to be a boss.
Very, very true. And I agree with that. Getting back to the topic, the best business decision you can make is your spouse or your partner or who you marry
Yeah, your significant other.
is because in the building of your empire, you're going to need somebody to lean on it.
Yeah.
You're going to need somebody to potentially hold you down when you don't have it. You're going to need somebody to understand many times in a year that I was super up. And then there was many times in that same year that I wasn't during that time where there was no difference in the love.
Right.
There was no difference in the
Support
support.
and the treatment and the respect.
Correct. There was no difference in the respect. And I think that if you have a spouse that doesn't respect that.
Treats you differently because your pockets don't match at the moment. Like that's definitely a huge issue. And I think I was raised differently. Like I feel like it doesn't matter the partner that you choose to be with, you need to respect them regardless. Because you make this decision for a reason. And a lot of the times I feel like a lot of women, they're scared to let their partners make mistakes.
Yeah.
And I'm not scared to let you make a mistake.
Yeah. And I respect that. And you tell me when I am making a mistake.
Yeah.
So there's a balance. There's a way that you do things. You have to be able to tell somebody they made a mistake and say, hey, how about you do it like this? Like many times, even with Jarvis, you're like, how about you have a webinar a few times a week? Or how about you advertise for the webinar instead of just selling directly to people? And I appreciate that because that's how I'm now getting a lot more clients because I'm now advertising to come to my webinar as opposed to just here, let me advertise for you to buy the product. And you have to be able to have somebody who
You have to have that balance with the good qualities that you have. I have an MBA in business. My undergrad is in fashion marketing. You are like
risk
a total lawyer and risk taker.
Oh yeah.
And I'm also an entrepreneur. But everything that I've learned, I use to guide us.
So yeah, I went to school for law and I tried it. It just wasn't what I wanted. I wanted a lot more freedom. I
Yeah.
wanted a lot more time with you guys. I was able to build a family and my dynamic of my household off of entrepreneurship. But it's not for everybody. Becoming an entrepreneur is not for everybody because everybody doesn't have the discipline that it takes to become an entrepreneur.
There are people that they may not qualify to be an entrepreneur, but they can absolutely qualify to be an entrepreneur. An entrepreneur is someone who works for a company, a corporation, and they run the business like their own. You take it and you run it like it's your own business. A lot of people need a little more guidance or a little more structure or how things are done. And they can't do that on their own. So they already have an outline. They're like, okay, this is how I can get it done within the company. And that's how you get far inside a corporation.
Correct.
By actually running a corporation like it is your own business.
You have to know your place. Like if you are a leader, you have to know you're a leader.
Yeah.
If you are supposed to build the infrastructure for a leader, like I'm using this analogy, the Chicago Bulls, Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen. Scottie Pippen is an amazing basketball player,
Right.
but I think he's a great number two.
Yeah.
I don't think the Bulls could have made as many championships without Scottie Pippen, but he was the number two. As soon as Michael Jordan left, they did well. They went to the Eastern Conference Finals. They went deep in the playoffs with Scottie Pippen alone, but wasn't able to just get over that hump. And Michael Jordan, until he had Scottie Pippen, he didn't win a championship either. So
you need both.
You need both. So the entrepreneur and the entrepreneur, you need a leader, you need somebody to help the leader. It goes with every dynamic. You got the Shaq, you got the Kobe, you got the Steph Curry, you got the Klay Thompson. This dynamic of having a team, like the two top dogs in the team really works. So having your wife or your husband, having your back in your business is
essential.
It's essential. So if you're with somebody who doesn't understand an entrepreneur life, that should be one of the conversations in your date. Like a lot of people talk about they want to know your credit score. As an entrepreneur, your credit score goes from a 420 to an 800 real quick, and vice versa. That's a fact.
And
So,
really, in a matter of months, you'll be like, it's the top, and then you just be.
So I see a lot of women, like I've been watching a lot of the Pop the Balloon, like little clips that I see on TikTok. And these girls are asking, what's your credit score? I'm like, my response would be like, could you be with somebody whose credit score, whose bank account shifted
Right.
consistently?
Because to be with someone who's this month made 100,000, and next month made zero.
Right.
And the month after that made zero. And the month after that made 10,000. And the month after that made 5,000. And the month after that made 1,000.
This
Like it'll change.
we've had some $60,000 days, and then we've had some $1,000 months.
Yes. What? 100%. Because it will happen.
It will happen, and if you don't understand that lifestyle, you may regret being with your partner. I think we speak about it all the time. She's like, "Yo, no 2 days are alike."
No, they're not. And then, just to kind of see that, like, if you're with an entrepreneur, you'll see that they're constantly trying to do something. Like, there is no getting you down.
No way.
You can't be down. You don't have time.
I don't have time to be
You don't
down.
have time to be down.
I don't have time. I try to be sad, but I'm like, yo, I don't got time to be sad.
No.
I don't got time to be stressed out. Even through stressed out, I gotta get up. This morning, I was like, I didn't have a great trading day yesterday, and I was like, I gotta wake up at 4:45 still, because if I don't wake up at 4:45, then I won't have time to go to the gym, and then I won't have time to chart, and I won't have time to talk to my team.
Yeah.
So I had no choice. Sad or not sad, you gotta get up. There's no sick days.
And as an entrepreneur, like, you rely on systems.
Right.
Like, you got to build a
You
system.
gotta build your own system.
And maybe this is a topic for like another topic. You have to build a system, and you have to like abide by that system so that you can actually function. Because just like there will be days that you'll be up, there'll be days you'll be down. But guess what? You still have to do the same thing.
Still have to do the same thing.
Because these are proven strategies that you have built, that they work. They don't work 100% of the time, but it's a numbers game. They're gonna work. You just have to continue to hit the pavement.
Correct. They say nobody has gotten rich from saving. Nobody has gotten rich from working a 9 to 5. I don't know if that's true or not, but I think it's less true than somebody investing in themselves and somebody taking risks.
Right.
I want to see the entire world before I die. I want to be able to say, hey, babe, let's go to Italy next month. Kanye West is there. Or Bad Bunny's in Spain next month. And we don't got to ask nobody for time off. Like, I want that. And some people are like, yo, like, I can't even fathom living a life like that. And that's okay. Both are okay.
Yeah, well, they are. Like, you don't have to be okay with just working a 9 to 5, and you could be just okay with working a 9 to 5. It could go either way.
I wouldn't say a survey, but more so just get an idea if the partner that you're with, if you're an entrepreneur, talking to entrepreneurs, if the partner that you're with is ready for that life, because that's what you got to be prepared for. Being prepared for ups and downs. And there's going to be a time where you're very, very, very up. Shout out to my boy, Devlin Carter, FBCC. Me and him became friends when we were both on our sneaker tour, on a sneaker life. Like, he's actually bigger in sneakers now than he ever was. But I met him when he was just customizing sneakers.
Yeah.
I used to fly him to New York so people could see his customization.
Yes.
And I had him involved in battles, and I had him with Trinidad James.
Yeah.
And now he's making sneakers for Steph Curry and Shaq and Kyrie and Music Soul Child. He's doing his thing, and his wife, she saw the ups and downs. She saw the potential. So you got to be with somebody who sees the potential, and there's a big reward at the end. I think there's no not winning. Like, you are going to win. It's not a matter of if. It's a matter of when you win. So you got to figure out if that person.
But they say, like, behind every successful man
There's a strong woman.
is a strong woman. And that is 100% accurate, especially when it comes to Devlin, right? Because
Yo, his wife is
his
dope.
wife,
She's dope.
She's
Shit.
dope.
That's
Like,
my homie.
she let him do what he needed to do. And, like,
She don't even ask for shit no more. Like, she just gets the break.
you don't have to.
Yeah, you either.
Yeah, you don't have to. Like, at the end of the day, like, the things will come.
Yeah, and that's dope, because I think that she would have been the same person if he hadn't been
Agreed.
successful.
I 100% believe that.
You know what I mean? I think that is a super dope that, because I think a lot of entrepreneurs actually didn't reach their full potential because of their partner. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
I can see that.
I think there's a lot of, like, not just entrepreneurs, but a lot of NBA potential stars,
Right.
or um a lot of athletes, a lot of artists, a lot of
Right. Singers,
singers that weren't able
rappers,
rappers because their wife or their spouse
or their significant,
or the
the
significant
person that they aspired to be with
that
just was not supporting
was
their
not supportive,
goals.
and they had to make money right then to make them secure.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Like that's it. You gotta go get a job.
You gotta go get a job. It's
Like
not worth
literally,
it.
that would, yeah, that's really what will drive a person crazy at that point. Because it's like the bills are not getting paid, lights getting cut off,
Right.
food needs to be on the table,
Yeah.
and you're not providing all these things because you're chasing a dream. But it takes two people. One person should be chasing their dream. The other person can be supporting the dream. And then you can take turns if you both have dreams. And then it'll be a time. It's a matter of like not having enough patience. There'll come a time where you'll both be able to chase your dreams. You just have to take turns, if that makes sense. I feel like
I think
that.
we did that without even speaking.
Yeah, it was like an unspoken agreement. Like there were times that you were going to school, I was working,
Yep.
then you were working, I was going to school.
Yeah,
There were,
exactly. And we never even spoke about it.
yeah, like we never really even have a conversation about, okay, I want this and you want that. Like it was just all really organic. Thank God it was organic. Other than that, I feel like it could have caused a lot of tension.
Yeah, it was
If we didn't,
again.
but it should be a conversation now that we know better, right?
So, what would you say is your the best thing about having a a partner, a business, well, a spouse, like you said? Well, what do you think will be the best, your favorite thing about having a spouse? That you,
My favorite thing.
your favorite thing.
So many favorite things, but I feel like you understand me. And that is my favorite part about our relationship. Like you really understand me. You're so empathetic and you have great insight into my brain. Like sometimes, and this is crazy, but I remember one time I was thinking something and you told me what I was thinking. And I was like,
Yeah, I think I remember that.
I was like, how do you know?
Yeah.
I'm like, 'cause I didn't say anything. I was just like, and you were like, you're thinking X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, yeah. So like, I just love being understood on that. Like, and I feel like a lot of people struggle with being understood on that deep level, especially emotionally. Okay.
So yeah. You crying. You cry,
I
baby.
think I was laughing.
Yeah. I'm not crying you up. No, but real talk, yeah, so I think my favorite thing is having a best friend all the time.
Yeah.
Like having a best friend all
Yeah.
the time.
You really are my best friend. We say this all the time to each
Yeah.
other. Like we could literally be just
Doing nothing.
doing nothing.
Like so one of our favorite things to do is driving our cars. And we literally get in the car and we don't have to go. I remember one time we had just bought the new S Class. Like we just bought it. And we said,
Yeah.
let's just drive through the city.
And we did.
No place to go.
No, but-
Just listening to music and
Driving.
driving.
And people stopping us, take pictures.
Yo, yeah.
Yeah.
Because our car was fire.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. It's still
Good times.
good time. So like,
I remember another time we just like had the G Wagon and we sat in the driveway and we drank a bottle of water.
that's right in the car. We didn't
In
go.
the car.
Yo, in the car.
Just
Yeah.
hanging out, talking crap.
Facts. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that. So yeah, just having a best friend because I think that works for me because the times that we aren't as abundant as we are at great times, it's still the same level. Like even when we're up, we like let's just stay in the crib.
Yeah.
Like I think my house, our basement, and our family room is just like our zone to go to in rich or poor. I think we,
Right.
you know what I mean? So it's
Just reach the level of like we're just really and not comfortable might be like a negative connotation to it, but just really comfortable with where we are with ourselves and our home and our just the intimacy, because intimacy is not only like physical,
yeah,
it's also like the way that we
emotionally
like
support.
emotionally support and speak.
Yeah, because that's important. You having when as an entrepreneur, your mental capital is going to drain a lot. Your mental capital, your capital is going to be drained, but your mental capital needs to be replenished. And that usually comes from outside. You can be drained by your significant other or poured into from your significant other.
Yeah.
And
And I think that comes a lot from being transparent. And it's like there's a difference because people think honesty and transparency are the same
they're
thing.
not.
They're
That's good.
completely opposite things. Like honesty is me being honest with you because you asked me a question and I'm telling you the truth. But transparency is just volunteering that information to and Chris, you're very transparent. That's like one of my
I'll tell
favorite
you,
things about
like,
you. Like you will literally come to me and just like volunteer information that I wouldn't even ask you, but I just know we have that level of communication
Yeah.
and that, we can always like you always tell me what's going on.
right. Yeah, I agree. I never thought of it like that. I honestly grouped them together, honesty and transparency, because I think being an honest person is being transparent, but that is a component of
Yeah.
honesty because you can not be asked the question and kind of negate information or omit information, and that is dishonest. And you didn't lie or you weren't dishonest, but you just didn't say, like, why didn't you tell me? I would have been able to do this. And I think
Right.
because of how you are, I
Yeah.
was able to navigate and I was able to tell you because I don't think you would flip out.
No, I would have about, but not only that, but it's like if you're not forthcoming with information with your partner, that person cannot use their brain. And then, we know about the mastermind, right? When you speak to someone about your problems, like it's like two heads are better than one.
Yeah.
So like sometimes you'll come to me, and many times you've come to me where you've had issues with real estate before I was even in real estate. You would be like X, Y, and Z is happening, and then I'd be like, okay, I think you should do X, Y, and Z because of this and this, and I think this would work out. And you always hit it out of the ballpark, like, and you've got time to like regroup, re-strategize, and just like get back in there and just close the deal.
I think that it's funny that you bring about real estate because we are successful because of real estate. And you actually were the one to start the real estate journey. It's so crazy. Like,
Yeah.
remember you started real estate 20 years ago?
So I started doing the course, but I had just gotten fired from BCB because I was pregnant.
Oh,
Remember?
we should sue their asses.
We tried. There was a lot going on that year.
Okay.
Remember, I had that slip and fall accident. Like it was just too much. It was a lot of litigious. I had to give some things up because of that. I started getting into real estate or whatever at the time, and it was hard.
Yeah.
And it was very difficult.
And then I got into real estate and got you back into it. And now,
Yeah.
here we are.
Here we are,
Here we are.
back in it.
I'm very, very, very pleased to know that the best decision, and I learned that from the great Warren Buffett, billionaire, probably the best investor of this century. Warren Buffett, anything he buys, anything he touches turns to gold. And he says the most important thing and the best decision he's ever made was marry his wife.
Right.
And I think that at least I'm on the right track.
I agree. I'm on the right track too.
So yeah, guys, remember that the best decision you ever could make is your spouse. It is the person that you are going to spend the most time with, bounce your ideas off of. And until next time, folks,
We'll see you next time.
peace.